Let's dive into this session. This is actually a part of a challenge we're doing. And so we have a private group, but we're also streaming this first session on Think Media. So smash like if you're fired up to talk about what's called the ASSQ method. It's the simple and easy YouTube strategy that anyone can do to get 1,000 subscribers and beyond. And the idea here is that, you know, if you want to build a strong house, you need the right tools. If you want to build a successful YouTube channel, you need the right tools. Well, what do you mean tools, Sean? Are you talking about software? No, not actually software or cameras in this case. I'm actually talking about the main vehicle, the main tool for you building your YouTube channel is the videos you post. The only way to grow a YouTube channel is to post videos on YouTube. And the types of videos, the topics of videos that you post are going to actually determine the success of your channel. And of course, there's the quality and all that other stuff. And we're going to be covering that over 3 days, over 5 sessions in this free challenge we're doing. But ultimately, what happens is a lot of people put a lot of effort into YouTube, but they're posting the wrong videos, the wrong tools. So ultimately, they get no results. Like you're trying to screw this screw into a piece of wood with a wrench. It just doesn't work. And so ultimately, we're going to be talking about these different tools, these different video strategies during this challenge. And today, we're going to be talking about one of the most powerful ones. And it's really the reason many people struggle to grow on YouTube is because they're making the wrong videos. They're not making videos that people actually want to see or that will attract viewers, especially when nobody knows you. And maybe you're frustrated because you feel like, I just can't break through. I'm trying to get discovered. How do I actually grow my viewership, my subscriber base? Everybody started 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They have a head start. I can't get started now. But that's actually a myth, because if you start making the right videos, then you'll start getting better results. And this brings us to the ASSQ method. And here's what it stands for. It stands for answer specific questions. Answer specific questions. What kind of videos can you make on YouTube? Videos answering specific questions. Now you might say, Sean, like that seems very narrow. I want to do other stuff than that. Well, here in our program called Video Breaking Academy, we actually teach 16 proven methods. This is just one method. So stick with me, because I believe that the ASSQ method is the best way to get started. It's the best way to trigger growth. It's the best way to get to 1,000 subscribers. But I also would challenge you that if you're established, if you're already at 10,000, 50,000 subscribers, going back to the basics. You know, Michael Jordan said, if you master the fundamentals, everything else you do will rise. It's actually incredibly powerful to sometimes go back to some of the basics, some of the forgotten truths that actually bring practical success on YouTube. And one of the reasons why this works is because 70% of viewers use YouTube to help them solve a problem. So we should ask ourselves, okay, we're starting a YouTube channel. What problem does this YouTube channel solve? I'm going to be posting some videos. What problem does this video solve? And so here's a question for you. What is a question that your ideal YouTube subscriber wants to know? Now, by the way, this might trigger some other thoughts. You might go, well, I haven't actually sat down and thought about who my ideal YouTube subscriber is. We're talking about how to get your first 1,000 subscribers. Do you just want random people that will only watch one video and never watch another video? Or do you want to build a specific audience? A lot of times the reason people struggle on YouTube is because they're a wandering generality instead of a meaningful specific. Something's powerful when you get clear on who is your ideal subscriber and what is one question. And then what you do is you take that one question and you turn it into one video. You know, if you're a part of our Think Media community or you're a part of this 1K challenge, by now you've probably realized that here at Think Media, we help people with the best tools. We help people find cameras and lighting and gear to create videos. And then we help people with the best tips, the strategies of how to start and grow a YouTube channel and even extend your message across multiple platforms of video. So one of the questions we get, because we know who our content is for, is like, hey, Sean, hey, Nolan, hey, Omar, what's the best music that I can use in my YouTube videos without having a copyright, getting a copyright strike, or having my video be messed up by the YouTube algorithm because I used music that I wasn't allowed to use? So one of the things answering specific questions that people type in search would be like best copyright free music. And one of my videos that happens to be 4 years old. Now, this is the part to lean in and smash like if you're watching the YouTube version, because a lot of the other methods, let's go viral, let's, trigger the YouTube algorithm, which we'll teach you how to do that. But very few people are creating content that they posted 4 years ago that's still getting views today. And this is why the ASSQ method is so powerful, because these types of videos can actually, you could post them 4 years ago and they can still actually earn you money, grow your subscribers. And so this one video that we're looking at as an example of the ASSQ method was posted on June 11th, 2018. Every 2 days, it gets $1,974. And you could see the traffic source. I know there's a lot of geeky data on screen, but the traffic source is YouTube search predominantly. And 60% of those views come from somebody searching for a question, searching for a pain point, and then discovering this video. Well, here's what's wild is this video single-handedly has earned me $35,785. Furthermore, remember this video is 4 years old, so I am still earning money passively. Every once in a while, you'll get somebody who goes, passive income doesn't exist. And I'm like, maybe not for you. All I know is that I am doing nothing to this video. I'm not thinking about this video. The YouTube algorithm and people searching for an answer to a question continue to find this video, and I make money when I'm taking my son on a walk, when I'm taking a nap during the day. The other day, someone was like, yo, if you're really ambitious, you don't take naps. And I was like, maybe you don't take naps. I know I love naps. Anyways, so ultimately, it not only is it earning $35,000, but it also has grown my channel, Think Media, 53,600 subscribers. So as we break down some very important things, and I want to encourage you to watch this training until the end, because we're going to talk about nuances of how to do this. But as we talk about how do you reach your first 1,000 subscribers, would you just trust me for a second to consider, Sean, I don't think this could grow my channel. I don't think this could help me get 1,000 subscribers. Friend, one ASSQ video got me 53,000 subscribers. Oh, easy for you to say, though. You've been doing okay. So even if you did it 153rd as not as good as me. I'm new to talking. I'm new to articulating things, and I apologize. But you get what I'm saying. If you did it 53 times worse in terms of the quality of the video or whatever, and even how you communicate, you're new and you feel nervous and you haven't done it, you'd get 1,000 subscribers, because one ASSQ video has grown my channel 53,000 subscribers. So imagine if you started to learn this skill. Imagine if you posted 1, 2, 3, 10, 20 ASSQ videos. I'm telling you, and I'm going to prove it to you with multiple examples, that this can help you reach 1,000 subscribers and beyond, get your channel monetized. And this is what we call a ranked video. And so Think with Google revealed that 86% of US viewers say they often use YouTube to learn new things. So this is kind of cool, because when we think about, man, what content is actually working, or what content in the midst of how crowded or busy, or, I'm trying to break out, what if you helped people learn new things? One of the types of content you post, 86% of US viewers are using YouTube for that. So you start using the ASSQ method, answer specific questions, and all of a sudden you see everything shift on your channel. But people wonder, oh, but is it too late to do this? Sean, it's 2023. What's the new data telling us? And it's amazing how many pessimists will see problems with every opportunity. Meanwhile, there are those who punch fear in the face, punch skepticism and cynicism in the face, and actually realize that there is massive opportunity waiting on the other side of taking massive strategic action. It kind of reminds me, when I think about, is it too late to start YouTube, about Larry. Larry is a chartered financial analyst, but he faced a lot of challenges on his journey. His career and his history is in finance, but for several years, he struggled with comparing himself to others. He originally failed the level 3 CFA exam, and that caused him to get passed up for a job promotion. But through perseverance, through growing his confidence, through developing the right mindset and learning new skills, he eventually stepped out on his own as an entrepreneur and as a content creator. And he posted his first video on June 9th, 2021. So he didn't start 10 years ago. He didn't start, back in the golden age. It's still the golden age. That's actually algorithmically provable. The amount of new channels that are starting from scratch, that are blowing up, breaking through and growing. Well, Sean, how can you deny the competition? I'm not denying the competition. I'm just saying that there is a supply and demand thing, and there's more desire. There's higher consumption than there is even content. It's true. There is so much demand for good content. He's in the personal finance space. You know how crowded the personal finance space is? Oh, but Larry had a nice camera. No, he didn't. He shot this on his phone. Like, look at his lighting. There is no lighting. It's just like the office lights. Look at the shot composition. It's not terrible, but there's nothing fancy about this video. But here's what's wild. In 6 months, he grew 53,000 subscribers, 900,000 views, and he only posted 13 videos. He actually reached 1,000 subscribers in 1 week. And what was he doing? Answering specific questions. He was using the ASSQ method. He was helping his viewers learn new things, and he was helping his viewers solve a problem. And so this is just session number 1 of our 3-day challenge. And if you're watching, we are streaming this first session on Think Media. I want to encourage you, the next 4 sessions are all happening inside of a private Facebook group. So if you go to learnvideo2023.com, you can register to be a part of this live challenge. We're going to be going really deep in some things. Every day there's a quick tip, and then every day there is a deeper dive session. Plus we have 4 special guests joining us. But in this session, we're going to be talking about the new YouTube stats that you need to know. A powerful YouTube secret I learned from Dave Ramsey and Gary Vaynerchuk, how to use the ASSQ method to get views and earn money, and a big mistake that is hurting your growth. And then, by the way, if you want to tag me on official Think Media on Instagram, you might be on Think Media, or you might be on, in our challenge group. One of the things that we love, we're actually going to be giving away copies of my book, YouTube Secrets. And so you can either do like an Instagram story, maybe do like a selfie at your battle station, or your cat is sitting next to your notebook. We have a lot of people that are really taking this seriously to get educated. And so if you do a post, just tag us at Think Media on official Think Media on Instagram. And if you do a profile post, those are the ones we're going to be able to give away a copy of the second edition of YouTube Secrets. And then our official hashtag for the event is Grow with Video. And so stay engaged in our conversation with all of that. But why YouTube? And so what are the latest stats revealing? What are the stats telling us right now as far as what's happening on YouTube? Well, first, currently YouTube has 2.6 billion monthly active users. 2.6 billion. And so when people think, okay, well, competition is so high, I want to encourage you, consumption is higher. 2.6 billion people is an astronomical amount of people. And when you then segment down into the fact that people like to follow people of different backgrounds, ages, ethnicities, we've learned that your vibe attracts your tribe. Some people don't want to actually follow a 19-year-old life coach because they think like, maybe he hasn't lived very much life yet. So they're looking for following someone that's Gen X or a baby boomer that's sharing wisdom. Some people want to actually learn from people that look like them, that have certain backgrounds, that maybe grew up like me in the Northwest snowboarding, listening to underground hip hop. Like, did you just resonate with different people? I just want to encourage you. Consumption is massive. And so the demand for good content is absolutely skyrocketing. Plus, YouTube is localized in more than 100 countries and is available in 80 languages. So the international opportunity is there. Now, TubeFilter revealed, and this was actually almost a year ago, that 200 million people are earning money from digital content creation. This is real numbers and real data from their survey. So if it sometimes feels like it's an uphill battle to get monetized or an uphill battle to build a business, that's actually one of the reasons why people struggle, is because they only focus on YouTube monetization. Like, the ways to earn money from digital content creation are so numerous, but a lot of times people become short-sighted, myopic when it comes to that. And so you look at this, you just see like that's a staggering amount of people that are actually getting money transferred to their bank accounts, getting checks in the mail from digital content creation. And small YouTube channels are making big money. I'll show you that in a second. You know, Signal Fire revealed, and this has been out for a while. If you followed me, you've heard me talk about this, that being a content creator or building a content business, or you're an entrepreneur or service provider and you start creating content, this has become the fastest growing type of small business. Not one of the fastest growing types of small business, the fastest. And actually, a new report just came out. MBO Partners Creator Economy Trends Report said the creator economy is the fastest growing segment of small business. And this just dropped, that digital content creators are, they call them this, self-employed independent workers, monetizing their knowledge and leading the change on how the market sees work, right? I mean, it might be the dream. And let me know, like, what is it? Why do you want to get into the creator economy? Why do you want to start a YouTube channel? This is shifting the way we see work. There is a lot of doubters and skeptics out there, but people like you and me are working from home, building out a battle station with multiple camera angles, or just grabbing their smartphone and starting to shoot content. They're replacing their corporate job. They're able to go part-time. They're able to go full-time. They're able to build a 5, 6, 7-figure business, like from digital content creation. And this isn't getting smaller. This is actually getting bigger. You know, Influencer Marketing Hub revealed that 2 million global content creators are making 6 figures. And this is one of the most important charts I need you to see. The influencer marketing global market size has been growing since 2016 to 2022 from 1.7 billion to 16.4 billion. What does this mean? First of all, this is just one way to earn money. If you're watching this by now, you know what like a sponsored post is. Hey, today's video is brought to you by whoever. I'm going to talk about them a little bit later. Squarespace, Purple Mattress, podcast gets sponsored, Instagram posts get sponsored. So money from businesses and brands is paid to content creators. How much money per year? Well, back in 2016, it was $1.7 billion, a lot. Last year, it was $16.4 billion. And this is one of 51 different ways we teach to make money on YouTube. So it's also going up about 20% a year. And even though some people say, oh, the economy is a little shaky and this is happening, the dollars are still flowing. And so we're talking over $20 billion flowing into your hands, creators, influencers, people that are creating content this year. And the reason that small channels can make big money is what brands and businesses have been realizing is that micro and nano influencers are the best use of these dollars. What does that mean? That means that creators that have between 1 to 5 or 10,000 subscribers, nano is kind of like 1,000 to 10,000. Micro influencer could be as much as 30,000. But let me be clear, you need 100,000 to get a silver play button. So you may never get a silver play button. I know that's your ambition. We want to help you get there, but I want to encourage you with a few thousand subscribers, you can build a real living, a real income, and a significant online business. And what brands are realizing is like our dollars are better spent by paying somebody that has 3,200 subscribers. But here's a big key: that has a focused audience, that has an audience that's potentially serious. You're not just repurposing, you know, some cat videos from TikTok into compilations. That's one way of doing YouTube. And you can, of course, you know, maybe get some ad revenue from that. But if you build a real community, you build a real focused audience, brands want to pay content creators. It's called influencer marketing, correct? And so ultimately what the data reveals is that YouTube is healthy, growing, and the most profitable platform to establish your brand. But the other thing is that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And it's the only platform where your content lives forever. Remember, I just showed you my video where it's 4 years old, but it's still getting views? That's because people are wanting to learn skills. People are wanting to solve problems. And so they're wanting to look for content like this. Now, inevitably on a training, someone will go, but Sean, I just don't see how this fits into my strategy. Like I'm more of an entertainment channel. I'm more of a vlogger. I'm more of this. One, as you stick with me over the 5 days in the challenge, I think you're going to be able to make that connection. But two, I want to challenge you to think outside of the box. One of the reasons why this is a 3-day challenge is it should be challenging. And if you could be open-minded about this, and if you could maybe even be kind of like a blank slate in terms of journaling, dreaming, and thinking about your future. Some of the things I'm showing you, they're just proven. They just work. And they work if you work them. So if you could think about, man, how could I, not I can't incorporate this into my YouTube strategy. How could I incorporate this into my YouTube strategy? Because when you make the right videos, the videos work for you when you're not working. So meet Mary. Mary is a former New Yorker now living a simple life with her sweet husband in the Texas Hill Country. And she's a content creator. So she loves traditional cooking, bone broth, ferment, sourdough. And she wanted to share her passion on YouTube, showing people how to be a modern pioneer in the kitchen, no matter where you live. But she didn't know where to start. And she didn't know how to do YouTube right. She didn't know how to make a video, and she didn't know what videos to make. And, Mary has shared a couple sessions with us. She's one of our Video Reiki Academy students, 65 years old, crushing it on YouTube now. But when she started, she's scared to get on camera, afraid of the tech, didn't know what to do, what the strategies were. But following our system, she built her confidence and she started creating videos. What kind of videos? Well, look at this one, how to make a simple roast chicken. It's a roast chicken recipe. She started to use the ASSQ method, answering specific questions. And she tapped into the power of YouTube being the second largest search engine in the world. So for example, she made a video called Homemade Apple Cider Vinegar with the Mother. Now, as a side note, I'm actually kind of a biohacking, natural foods geek. I drink all kinds of potions and all kinds of weird stuff. My wife thinks I'm disgusting because if you don't know what this is, not that you asked, apple cider vinegar with the Mother. You know what the Mother is? It's like a slimy mushroom thing that's floating around, helping your apple cider vinegar ferment, which you didn't ask about, probably didn't want to hear unless you're an apple cider vinegar geek like me and you get the brag apple cider vinegar with the Mother. See, Mary's even better because she's got that actual homemade, kind of reminds me of Jordan on the Think Media team. She's like fermenting everything. There's always something fermenting at her house. Anyways, so someone is looking into, and here's one of the keys with the strategy. I want to give you some nuances. The strategy is not the AQ method. It's not the answer questions method. It is the answer specific questions method. It's a big deal because in a crowded world, one of the chances to stand out is to give extremely specific answers to specific questions. So if you want to make apple cider vinegar, there's a difference between making it with the Mother or not making it with the Mother slimy mushroom. Come on, Super Mario Brothers movie, let's rock. And so ultimately, someone is looking for homemade apple cider vinegar with the Mother, and her video ranks. Like, this is what this would be called. It's a ranked video. Now, she was answering specific questions. It's a 4-year-old video, and I want to point something out. This video has 847,000 views. I don't know if that makes you uncomfortable, but that's what are we talking about? Sean, ASSQ videos don't get views. Okay, Zoomer. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, this video will hit 1 million views, by the way. In fact, following the ASSQ method, Mary is at 901,000 subscribers. Like, she's going to get a gold play button. And so this is why YouTube is the best way to impact the world with your message and with your content from wherever you are. Because, her vision is that whether your kitchen is in a city apartment or it's in a house in the suburbs or in a farmhouse in the country, that anyone can join her in preserving traditional cooking skills and finding joy as modern pioneers in the kitchen. What's your vision? What's the message that you want to get out there? One of the things I've discovered about those that crush it on YouTube is they take tactics like the ASSQ method, but they've got a message, they've got a vision, they've got a purpose. They want to impact people. And a lot of times it starts small and it even starts slow. But it's so incredible that Mary from the hill country in Texas is going to get a gold play button, being able to work on her own terms. She actually got a book deal, and the publisher told her, they reached out to her and they said, if you ever want to write a book, they said, the authors we're looking for, we just search on YouTube for subject matter experts or people that have built up their brand talking about a particular thing. No joke. The publisher is like, we look on YouTube and we found you. And she's like, yeah, I'd love to do a cookbook. And they reached out to her and she was interviewed and she said, how big's your team? She's going to have 1 million subscribers. She's like, it's me and my husband. And she's like, sometimes we take breaks and, sometimes when life is busy, he helps me edit or he edits and they're going to hit 1 million subscribers, just the two of them working on their YouTube channel. And they have a life on their own terms and they just go at the pace they want. But listen, one of the reasons why they're not burnt out, one of the reasons why they've got a healthy family and a healthy pace and they're growing fast, but they're actually avoiding some of the pitfalls of the creator economy is because of ranking videos. It's because of not just chasing viral and chasing the algorithm, but creating videos that are 4 years old that actually create a baseline to support them and their family. Using the ASSQ method. My story answering specific questions is kind of interesting. I grew up in the country. I grew up on 6 acres, an hour north of Seattle in a city called Arlington, Washington. And, for perspective, everyone wore Carhartt clothes at my school, not because Carhartt was cool like it is today and hipster, but because they actually worked outdoors and were part of the future farmers of America. And I always kind of felt like I didn't fit in because I was a farm boy who liked rap and punk rock, import cars, and snowboarding, right? And so eventually I got into video back when I had mini DV tapes. That's like a Canon HV30. And I got into video by volunteering at my local church. I did an internship at my small town church, started making videos for the youth group. And the videos were terrible, by the way. So I started uploading videos in 2007 for the church. Nobody's like really, seeing these videos or whatever. They're super weird and awkward. And I didn't really want to start my own thing because I was actually scared to kind of start my own thing, to put myself out there with my own opinions or ideas because I was afraid of being judged. I was afraid of being criticized. But eventually, you got to just punch fear in the face. You got to punch perfectionism in the face. And eventually I posted, my own first video on my personal channel. Here's a clip of it.
All right, so I guess it's the first Sean Thinks vlog, and I'm gonna try to vlog every single day, mainly so I can remember what I'm even doing, and what's going on. Because I just feel like I have a lot that I'm thinking about, and I figured, hey, why not share it? And if you find something interesting, that's awesome. Now, this is definitely as real as it gets, so I'm not going to try to be energetic or entertaining. Though maybe sometimes I will. But anyways,
yeah. So I mean, listen, that is the worst video ever posted on YouTube. But hey, started from the bottom, and ultimately, I want to encourage you. There's a couple lessons we can learn here. I just laugh because this was like the Genesis voyage of my YouTube journey, right? That I'm sitting down, first video ever. And I have no idea what was going through my head. I do not know why I declared, here's some tips you can literally write down. I was like, here's my plan. I'm not going to be energetic or entertaining. It's a bad plan, by the way. And I want to encourage you that we've discovered that people from all different energy levels, charisma levels, personalities, not everyone has to be like hype and crazy like a YouTuber. People that are soft-spoken or just very stoic or sincere, or serious rather, and just practically teach like accounting, or they teach like there's successful people from all different types of personality types. Saying that, it's not a bad idea to be a little bit energetic and entertaining, to slightly increase your energy. In fact, one of the things I've learned, have you ever heard that the camera adds 10 pounds? It's kind of true that the camera adds 10 pounds. What also is true is that the camera takes away 50% of the energy. What does that mean? That means that if you just think you're being normal the way you'd be perceived by others, it'll feel like there's a reduction of energy when it comes to speaking to a camera. So the goal would be to be you, your personality, your style, but to turn it on a little bit, like to just up your energy. You might feel like I'm shouting, I'm being crazy. It'll just be coming across as normal and it'll be more engaging. So first of all, like planning to not be energetic or entertaining, bad plan. And then I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Like, here's my first video. I have no plan. That was also a bad plan. Like, it's a bad plan not to have a plan. And so ultimately, that's why we're doing this challenge. And what Think Media exists for is so that we could actually approach YouTube with more intentionality and more strategy. And so the good news is, though, that it's okay to start before you're ready. In fact, that's one of the keys. You got to just start messy. You can't steer a parked car. And had I never posted that first video, I never would have gotten to where I got today. And so you got to start before you're ready. You got to start poop your pants scared. You got to just start. But you also have to commit to learning new skills. The truth is this: if I would have stayed at that level, like that, the videos just kept being like, here's video number 2. That's actually what happened. You can go research them. Today, I'm just flipping the flop and flopping the flip, man. Here we are. Haven't really planned much out for this one either. If I just continued to actually not get a plan, not learn strategy, not develop my skills, not grow as a communicator, not eventually, and this can feel overwhelming, but I had to commit to learning new skills. I had to commit to changing. I had to commit to getting out of my comfort zone. I had to commit. And so as a result, and this is my story with the answer specific questions, I dove deep into the trenches to learn everything I could about building a YouTube channel, but also like building an online business, about skilling up as a communicator, editing, video optimization, video SEO. And so I started buying books and listening to podcasts and attending conferences and buying online courses. And out of that process, I discovered the ASSQ method. It wasn't as clear as it is today because now I've refined this over years and seen how powerful it is. But back when I was working at Red Robin, waiting tables, and man, I love this picture. I didn't actually have long hair. This was Halloween. So I was Wayne from Wayne's World for Halloween. That's a wig and a cool Wayne's World hat. And I wish I had those jeans because then I would be, cool. And so I don't know where those are though. But anyways, so what I would do is, I was busy and you might be wondering, how do I get it all done? How do I start a YouTube channel when I got kids, when I got a family, and when I got school, when I'm just trying to juggle multiple different things? I want to encourage you that with focus, with some practical strategies, I also want to encourage you that session number 5, which is happening Saturday evening or Saturday afternoon Pacific time during our challenge, we actually have 2 special guests sharing their practical things of how do you, it's some wild stuff. They submitted all the stuff ahead of time. And so the 3 of us are going to be sharing like a deep dive on productivity, kind of time management. How do you get it all done? But when I had this job, I'm volunteering at a church, or I'm part-time staff at a church, I'm waiting tables, newly married. I actually mounted my Droid X, my Android phone, to the dashboard of my Ford Taurus. And I recorded a 10-minute and 30-second video just answering a specific question. How do you get started in video production and video editing? By this time, which was, I want to say 2010, I'd been doing video since 2003. So all I did was I took my experience, my learnings, my skill that I had developed, and I didn't go to film school. I just was self-taught. So sometimes people think, but Sean, I'm not an expert. Neither was I. I just was sharing how I figured it out, how I was doing it, how I had learned it myself. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to be 1 or 2 steps ahead. And because I had been doing videos for my church, and I had been making video announcements, and I'd been having struggles with building a video editing computer and it not working. And I'd gone through a lot of pain and challenges and setbacks, and I'd had to do my own research, and I'd invested hours and time into something. And you've done the same. It could be motherhood or finance or math or science or tech or gaming or how to beat a game or mastery. Like, there's just so many different things. So I just was sharing what might have even seemed like common knowledge to me, but it wasn't common knowledge to people that wanted to get into video production and video editing. And look, the video got 7,000 views. This changed everything, because when I stopped making videos that were with no plan, and I'm just, I'm not going to be energetic or entertaining, or even when I was just making random vlogs and different things that I experimented with, the ones that started to work were the ASSQ videos. I did a video on how to build a video editing PC. And I actually went back and made the thumbnail better after I originally posted it, because it wasn't like a special video with B-roll. It was me sharing like 12 things I wrote down, again, on my commute to work from Smoky Point, Washington to Everett, Washington, at about a 20-minute drive. And so, by the way, I don't recommend that, but it was safe in the sense of it was like doing a voice call. I had my phone mounted, camera, and I was like, and I think then I just edited it later. So I probably rambled for 18 minutes, trimmed some stuff out, made it 9 minutes. Video got 11,000 views. I talked early on, when it wasn't easy to use StreamYard and stuff like this, on how to record Skype interviews. 22,000 views. Fast forward, I started to do experiments like Best Greens powder. This one video, and I'll teach about this a little bit later, earned $20,000. It's wild to say that, not from YouTube ad revenue, but I started to do experiments, realizing you can answer specific questions in the health industry, relationships, and about everything, about faith, about a religion, about business, right? About marketing, about crypto, about NFTs, about politics. Like, it goes on and on, like answering specific questions. I actually did a channel for kind of with my friend Jeff Moores on faith-based channel for like Christian leaders, and had a guest on. It was an interview show. And so talking about Christian business and different pastors and people that we had on the channel, and what worked. I know I'm making a point, but I want to encourage you. We're going to get into some tactics right now, but I want to encourage you, like, answer specific questions and just try this and put your best effort into this and watch what happens as you start to use the ASSQ method. And so since that time, and this even speaks to like kind of my background, now today I'm on a mission to help people build their influence with YouTube. I've started multiple channels, not even just these ones, but some different channels that have grown and have been successful. And remember, it's not the only, but one of the most significant strategies is the ASSQ method. We have refined 16 different things that really have been the keys to growing these channels, 16 different tools, 16 different strategies, right? And so that has led. What's crazy about this, though, is it has led to press, media, speaking on stages. And I share all this, too, because maybe you want more promotion for your business. You're wanting more exposure. You want more, how do I market myself, or how do I get out there and get in front of more people? Well, the influence you grow on YouTube can lead to book deals like it did for Mary, right? It can lead to the opportunities of working with different brands and companies. It can lead to connecting and having an open door. I've been able to work with and interview some of the most influential business leaders on YouTube, whether it's Chalene Johnson or Gary Vaynerchuk or Grant Cardone, Lewis Howes, Jasmine Starr, Patrick Bet-David. You might know me from YouTube Secrets, the second edition now, a book I wrote with my friend Benji, which I think just crossed 100,000 copies sold. And this is why a lot of people know me as the YouTube guy. And then as a small town kid, college dropout, it's wild to try to figure out how to be a CEO now. And as the Think Media team has been growing and we've been hiring, and you can always check us out at workwiththink.com for the different open positions and things. But the thing I'm most proud of is our students. The thing that gets me the most excited is our students, many who've started from zero and have been able to use the ASSQ method and the other strategies that we teach to get that coveted silver play button and to grow and ultimately reach their dreams and reach their goals and impact the people they impact. Like, one of the things we define our success at Think Media is like when our community's community is successful. right? As educators and teachers ourselves, like we really want to serve purpose-driven people, that when our communities are successful and flourishing and learning and solving problems, that is real success. And so, can I really get 1,000 subscribers using the ASSQ method though? The answer is yes. This is actually the fastest way to create predictable growth on YouTube and make clear and the fastest way to create predictable growth on YouTube is to make clear and concise videos that answer specific questions. Now, a couple objections you may have though. Sean, wouldn't the fastest way to grow on YouTube right now be to create YouTube Shorts? If all you cared about was subscribers, which is cool, I would say, yeah, that's probably true. But one of the things I've learned is answering specific questions is actually a great strategy for doing in YouTube Shorts, especially for you to think if it doesn't take 10 minutes to answer the question, you can answer it in less than 60 seconds, it should be a YouTube Short. And if you're new to what those are, that's just a vertical video, not landscape, not horizontal. A vertical video that's 60 seconds or less uploaded to YouTube is a YouTube Short. And so YouTube Shorts are getting people a lot of subscribers. But the problem with that is the ASSQ method with long form video, I would argue in 2023 is the best way to create predictable growth on YouTube, making it with clear and concise videos that answer specific questions. And recently, I showed you earlier, I've made like $38,000 or whatever it was from that one ASSQ video. If that same video had the equivalent views from YouTube Shorts, probably would have earned $200. So even as it comes to earning money and having a higher quality audience and a higher quality community, Sean, are you saying you shouldn't post YouTube Shorts? That's not what I'm saying. We're going to talk about those during the challenge. I am just saying that the ASSQ method is the best type of growth, because if you get clear on who your channel is for and you start making the right videos, then you're going to start building the right audience, not just an audience of, well, I got 2,200 subscribers. Are they really that engaged? Are they coming back and watching more? Did they actually make a connection with you, or did they just watch one YouTube Short randomly? So a couple examples is of some ASSQ videos that could inspire your channel, inspire your ideas. Beloved Women with Christina Patterson. And these are some of our different students. She did a video on how to meditate on God's word, a simple 3-step process for scripture meditation. Now, there's a small number on screen that's very important that I want you to see, and it's kind of hard to see. But right next to 49,000 views, underneath the title, it says 2 years ago, and then it says 5 VPH. Now, that is there because of a tool we use called vidIQ, which just allows us to kind of spy on other people's videos. And so what's happening with this video is it's 2 years old, but it's still getting 5 VPH. What's VPH? Views per hour. So Christina posted this video 2 years ago. It's already got 49,000 views, but this video continues to get 5 humans discovering and watching this video every single hour, 24 hours a day. That is why the ASSQ method is the greatest way to not just get 1,000 subscribers, but keyword, to get predictable growth. Because this video continues to grow her community. But think about it. It also is attracting the right type of subscribers. If you're seeking out this very specific question on how do I meditate on God's word, and you're discovering her, by the way, it just gives you a chance. It's not a guarantee. 5 people, 3 of those people might be like, I don't really like you that much. I don't like your video. Cool, bro. People are going to come and go. You're not for everybody, but you need a chance to get in front of your ideal audience. And some people are like, man, Christina's awesome. This is cool. What other videos does she have? And this is how she's built a very successful business around her YouTube channel, as well as because she's answering specific questions. Her channel is at 43,000 subscribers, and she's monetizing in 10 different ways. It's pretty inspiring, her story. Of course, Think Media. Nolan's one of our creators. We talked just about how to turn on comments on YouTube. Pretty basic, but very specific. And this video is on its way to 1 million views. In fact, this one video has grown our channel by 4,500 subscribers. One ASSQ video, and it's earned almost $5,000. So a fact is that one ASSQ video can grow your channel thousands of subscribers and earn you thousands of dollars. Now, this is Stacy Tuchel, business owner, generating multiple millions of dollars a year in her business. She has a company called Well-Oiled Systems. She has a couple brick and mortar dance studios. And this video on how to get in front of your customers and make more sales got 15,000 views. Now I hear you. Johnny Pants 44 is watching this video and he's like, no, that video only got 15,000 views. It's not even viral. What do you know about YouTube? Well, listen, Johnny. Ultimately, Stacy Tuchel, it's fine if you want to critique the fact she only has 15,000 views. But the fact that she just bought a second home for her and her family on the coast because she has a multi-million-dollar business, I think would indicate that the way she is measuring her success is not by how many views she gets on YouTube, but rather the impact she's making with her business and on her customers. And in the niche that she's in, B2B businesses, 15,000 of the right views. See, too many people are judging on the surface of things that it's like, oh, if you didn't get 200 million views like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is a particular model. It's entertainment based. Mr. Beast is crushing it. Massive respect. But you'd be shocked by how many non-famous content creators, non-famous business owners that start creating content that are completely unknown. And Rebecca is so critical of like their style and what they think is happening because they're only lurking on the surface. But if you look beneath the surface, you start realizing, oh my gosh, Stacy's got products, programs, she's got a whole business going on. And when she puts out an ASSQ video like this, when you put out a video that may not get 100,000 views, 1 million views, that's not necessarily what winning looks like. We call it in our community VFM, the letter V, the letter F, the letter M, viral for me. We need to stop defining viral by 1 million views, and we need to start defining viral by what would it look like to reach your target audience. Your target audience might not even be 1 million people. Like it might be a smaller group of people, but when you can become a meaningful specific to a particular group of people and you've attached a powerful business model, a powerful money plan to that, everything can change. So answering specific questions looks different depending on the type of topic your channel is about and depending on how you define success on YouTube. Here's an example of Omar, one of the Think content creators who created a YouTube short on the best cheap microphone for using on your smartphone. It is an ASSQ video and it got 73 subscribers. So I highly recommend shorts. It earned $11, which is a lot less than if we would have got 50,000 views on a long form video, but that's cool too. And it's getting 463 views every 2 days. And I want to know, this is a multi-year old video. This video is a couple of years old. So you can achieve similar results by making the right shorts. There's a difference between kind of a search-based ASSQ video and a viral-based get promoted on the shorts shelf. Holistically in our community, we teach on both. But people oftentimes underestimate the power of a search-based short. But I need you to write this down because let's take the strategy to a whole nother level. And I'm going to share with you the ASSSQ method. This is actually probably what it should be called. Because if you're already saying, Sean, this feels too simple, this feels too basic, give me the deeper secrets, what is happening. Friend, this is the deeper secret. The reason you might be losing is because you're missing what's hidden in plain sight. And also, don't hate on it until you've tried it. Don't actually criticize it until you've given it an honest effort. Because the ASSQ method works, and what's even better than the ASSQ method is the ASSSQ method. What's that stand for? Answer stupid, simple, specific questions. Sean, this is too simple. Yeah. In fact, that's the opportunity, because oftentimes we go, okay, well, if I'm going to do an ASSQ video, I need to go figure out the most complex thing that's in my topic. I need to go make a video that's going to take me, hours and shoot all this footage. And I need to buy 14 extra external hard drives. And I really need to block some time on the weekend to edit this masterpiece. And I really got to go, no, actually, if you grabbed your phone and just like put it in horizontal, because it's going to be a 3-minute video, and hit record, and you're like, hey, a lot of people been asking this specific question. It seems basic, but it can be kind of confusing. And so here's the answer. And you shoot a video and you upload it on YouTube. You'd be shocked what can happen when you answer stupid, simple, specific questions, things that you might think are too obvious. Let me prove it to you. There's a video that's 12 years old on how to drill into your wall. What are we? Not even like how to hang a picture or something. What do you mean how to drill into your wall? Like, I know for me, growing up in Arlington, Washington, with my stepdad, Phil Escalin, hanging out with him in his shop, like this was just sort of inferred. Like you just kind of picked up this information from how you were growing up. Like maybe a more complex, like how to hang something heavy. No. Literally just how to drill into your wall. 1.7 million views. I want to challenge you that in 2023, there's a lot of golden opportunities on YouTube of answering stupid, simple, specific questions. What happens is the curse of knowledge. The curse of knowledge is where you've lived a life, had a particular type of parents, read 4 books on your topic, listened to some audiobooks. This is the thing that you obsess over, you're into. You love a particular franchise of content, Lord of the Rings, Starbucks, Star Wars. You're into coffee at a super deep level. You're into comic books, Image, Marvel, Dark Horse, and your knowledge goes like super deep. But the curse of knowledge is like, well, yeah, the other fans of Star Wars know this stuff. Yeah, the other people, the other moms, they know this stuff. No, they don't. YouTube is giving you access to this global audience, and there's people out there that don't know how to drill into a wall. And that is good news. Because remember, this is not the only video. Sean, if I only did this. Okay, relax, Tom. Like, it's going to be all right. This is one strategy, and think about, though, how quickly you can get this. Video is 2 minutes and 12 seconds. You get somebody, you get your spouse, you get your partner, you get a friend, you get your sister. Hey, can you come over and hold the phone? I want to shoot like 10 answers to 10 questions. And they hit record on the phone, and you're like, okay, hey, in this video, I just want to show you quickly how to like solve this problem quick and easy. And people always get stuck on this thing. Let me just show you how to do this. And like, be brief, be bright, be fun, and be done. Post the video. I'm telling you, post 10 ASSSQ videos. Watch what happens. Because Bruce Lee said it this way: simplicity is the key to brilliance. Wow. And Leonardo da Vinci said it this way: simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Sean, this doesn't work. Friend, we've built an 8-figure empire with 20 employees, 10 contractors. We're hiring right now. I think it works. We built a multi-business events and all this other stuff. Like, this works. And sometimes things that seem simple, and even if you're watching this on Think Media as we're streaming the first session, and you're just like, bro, like, you repeat yourself. Yeah, I should, because it works. Like, master the fundamentals, and everything else you'll do will rise. Sometimes we're looking for like a fancy new piece of information. A lot of times because we're hiding on the other side of fear, and we haven't just pressed record and just started taking massive imperfect action using a simple strategy. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And so you've got renting versus buying a home. Very basic question, but like 3.8 million views. And so a big mistake most people are making on YouTube is what I was doing. I was making videos about a bunch of random stuff, recipes, Amazing Spider-Man, vlogs, and my channel was super confused. Whereas what I needed to do was get clear on who my target audience was and just start answering specific questions in one niche. And I was ultimately making the wrong YouTube videos. And, I said a secret that I learned from Dave Ramsey and Marie Forleo and Gary Vaynerchuk. What's also wild is you can actually see the ASSQ method. You'll start seeing it everywhere on YouTube. Maybe you've heard of Dave Ramsey before. He's a personal finance guy, and he teaches people how to get out of debt. Been doing it for years, used to be on the radio. Now he's got multiple different people doing it with him. And he's getting around 16 million views a month, 2.5 million subscribers. What do they do on the channel? They answer specific questions. And there's always, this is an interesting thing, there's always new questions. Like if you pick the right channel topic, right? Banks recently had some trouble. So it's like, is your money still safe in the bank? It's a specific question that's like relevant for right now. Should I force kids to stay home until they're 25? Very specific. Like, and they have a call-in show, so they're answering specific questions. Should I buy solar panels so I won't have any more bills? It's pretty specific. Like, so you can actually study this massive channel. How do I kick my mother-in-law out of the house? 4 people watching this right now have been thinking about that exact question. Like, how do I kick my mother-in-law out of that? You might want to go watch that video. Like there's just some practical wisdom for the things that people face. And 75% of people are using YouTube to help them solve a problem. That might be one of the problems you're facing. Like Sean, literally the biggest challenge. I could really create and start my YouTube channel if I could figure out how to kick my mother-in-law out of the house. Relax. Okay. It's a joke. Kind of. Well, Gary Vaynerchuk, I mentioned, right? He literally had a show called the Ask Gary V Show. And fast forward to today, and he's talking about like how to charge more for your services. That is an ASSQ video. Marie Forleo has also done a call-in show, but she's wrote like how to write a book and actually finish it with a guest. So that's a video podcast basically, but it's answering a specific question. Is email dead? 3 marketing myths that destroy your business. So what is a specific question you could answer on your YouTube channel? Drop that in the chat, drop that in the comments, drop that on the replay, #replay fam if you're here on the replay. What is a specific question you could answer on your YouTube channel? Meet Jacqueline. She is called the Wild Floridian is what her YouTube channel is. And her vision is that the more that we know Florida, the more we will love Florida and the better we can take care of Florida. Her vision is actually that if she could empower individuals to start gardening, that it's going to change the atmosphere, it's going to change the ecosystem, it's going to have a better impact on the environment. And so ultimately, she started posting videos and using just her smartphone. So like, what's her fancy camera? Nothing, her phone. Does it have a nice microphone? No, it's like just her phone. It's just the on-camera mic. She'll just put it on like a tripod or just set it up on like a stump and like just record videos, 5 ridiculously easy vegetables to grow in Florida. Now, notice that you can do an ASSQ video, but like word it different. It doesn't have to be like, what are the easy vegetables? Like it's answering a question, like what are the easiest vegetables to grow in Florida? And that kind of taps into future sessions. How do you title? How do you position videos? Don't feel stuck in this because using ASSQ, there's layers to it. Like there's ways to do it so that it works and different ways to title your videos. But you got 50,000 views talking about, I searched, what are the best plants for Florida? And her video ranks in search. And this is one of the ways that she's doing it. In fact, Jacqueline is one of our special guests. I believe she's coming on Saturday, sharing how she gets it done, how she makes her videos, how she saves time, and all these secrets she's learned to be productive on YouTube. And remember, 70% of viewers use YouTube to help them solve a problem. And I want you to write this down. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. What does that mean? When you put out ASSQ videos into the world today, new students are going to get ready for your answers tomorrow or even years from now. What does that mean? It means you put out a resource, a video, you upload it, you answer a question, and views can keep coming in because there's always a new audience there's always somebody who wasn't into Lord of the Rings. They start to get into Lord of the Rings because Amazon Prime does a new show. There's always somebody who like wasn't a parent and all of a sudden they become a parent. And all of a sudden it's like, well, how do we do this? Like that was like for me, right? So 3 years ago, we had no kids. And now we've got a 2.5-year-old and a 7-month-old. And all of a sudden we had a lot of problems. You know what I mean? Now it's like, how do you raise them? How do you keep them alive? How do you do the things? How does a baby work? How do you be a parent? How do you stay married with kids? It's a whole set of problems. You know, you got challenges. So meet Nicole. Nicole ultimately in 2016 took a step of faith from her career as a pediatric occupational therapist in an outpatient clinic to create a bigger impact for families. And so she started her YouTube channel and she wanted to share her message with as many people as possible. So she started a YouTube channel she started a YouTube channel while, as she describes, she was very pregnant with her first child. So it was an intense season, right? Trying to do all the things and edit and learn and film. And she posted for years without breakout growth. And at times she felt frustrated and wishing things would grow faster. And she wanted to crack the YouTube code. So she started using the ASSQ method. And she started using the VRA method, which we're actually going to be talking about tomorrow as well. And so one of the videos that she made was all about how to do tummy time. Remember, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I didn't even care about what tummy time was. I didn't know what tummy time was. But ultimately, she posted a video called Tummy Time for Newborn. She was answering specific questions. It got 6.8 million views. Now, you might be saying, but Sean, like, are you promising me I'll get 6.8 million? No, I'm just saying that think about the practicality. What if you only got 10% of that? 10% of 6.8 million is what? 680,000? Is that true? Probably. What about 10% of that? 68,000? What about 10% of that? 6.8 thousand? Imagine posting a video that gets 6,800 views. This is so practical. I implore you to just try this and trust me that when you put a solid effort, you put a good video together, and it's okay to start messy like I did and start poop your pants scared and start with some bad videos. It's like you can post multiple videos. Everything's learning and getting 1% better with every upload. But the cool thing is on the journey is these breakout videos happen when you commit to the ASSQ method. And I DM'd Nicole and I said, how much have you made from your 2.7 million viewed video? Which it's 6 million now. But she said $7,525 in YouTube ad revenue was how much money at that time. So now it's more like 14,000 or more that has come in from this one video. And ultimately, her videos have been viewed over 16 million times. And she's today built a 7-figure business. And it all started, though, with answering specific questions. And that's what I mean is that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Clearly, I'm ready. Clearly, as you can see in this photo, I'm a little bit stressed, trying to figure out how to be a parent. Relax, Sean Bradley. Relax, John Stephen. And so this is an opportunity for you to realize whether it's you want to talk about Magic the Gathering or whether you want to talk about the Mandalorian or the new Star Wars things that are coming out, like whatever your thing is, ultimately when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And the way that happens is because YouTube is a search engine and people are looking for specific products. And people got problems, man. I mean, you know that to be true. Your boyfriend has problems. Your coworkers have problems. Your spouse has problems. That's a fact. Relax, okay? It was a joke. It's actually not a joke. You know, you got problems. You got the most problems. You've probably used YouTube to help solve problems. So now start thinking about the opportunity that waiting for you on the other side of fear is the opportunity to answer specific questions and help people solve problems. And you don't need to be approved for the YouTube Partner Program to start earning money. In fact, this video has earned thousands of dollars, and we're actually going to be talking about that on the future sessions. We're not going to go into that now. I'm landing the plane. We got to end. We have VIP Q&A in just a second. Mel is in the background. I feel her energy, but we're landing the plane. And so we're going to talk about this other ways besides YouTube ad revenue. But I do want to encourage you, if you picked up the YouTube starter kit, or if you haven't yet, it's still on a discount during the challenge at tubestarterkit.com. One of the resources in there is our 51 money-making video ideas. 51 money-making video ideas. So we talked about ASSQ and we talked about ad revenue, but there's such a deep opportunity of building different business models and having a specific YouTube money plan for you. And so this first session is being streamed on Think Media. If you haven't heard about this resource, I highly recommend checking it out, tubestarterkit.com, and you can look at the link in the description. And also, if you're a part of the challenge, the special discount on this is happening just for a few days during our 3-day challenge. But as the plane is fully landed, I just want to answer the question of, well, how do I stay motivated when I'm starting my channel? When I post an ASSQ video, but the views don't come in right away. Truth is, YouTube is a marathon and it's not a sprint. And so how do you keep going and how do you stay motivated? Well, here's what I've learned, and we'll end with this, and I want you to write this down. Reasons come first, results come second. Reasons come first, results come second. So I'd love for you to type in the chat, what is your reason for wanting to start a YouTube channel? What is your reason for wanting to get views, get subscribers? What is your reason for wanting to build your influence online? You know, for me, one of my reasons is my family. And if you haven't heard, in 2009, my wife almost died. And my wife, Sonia, we'd been married for a few years, got incredibly sick, eventually had to be hospitalized for 6 days and was on the verge of death there for a while. And so this was at a time where I was incredibly terrified. I was we were going through not just that scary moment and massive health challenges with her, but we got crushed in the recession and the Big Short. And we actually had a rental property and we were living with multiple families. We were house hacking before the term existed. We were living with a family, 2 roommates. The other house we started with had roommates, and then we rented it to some people. They lost their job, they couldn't pay. And with the health challenges and with us being dual income, but her not being able to work, and then also with some drama that happened and some moral failures that happened at her church, everything was falling down around us. And so my reason for wanting to go all in on YouTube was, as I had those 6 days sitting in the hospital, I was able to do a lot of reflection, a lot of prayer, and I felt challenged, like, man, I got to step up. I got to man up and actually start taking care of my family. My wife was actually the main breadwinner. She was earning more than me. And I started saying, the reason I want to figure out how to make money online, how to support my family, was to be able to pay medical bills, was to be able to work from home, not just for the lifestyle of it. And that is a beautiful vision. I mean, today, even Nolan on our meeting today was like, I'm thankful. We did a bunch of gratitude. I'm thankful for getting to work from home so he could be around his brand new baby, Luca, and be with his wife, Madeline. Same vision. But at first, it was like, we just got to make it through this season of hell. We got to make it through this hardship that we're in. And I'd been doing video and I'd been studying YouTube. So the motivation to press through the hard times and to learn the new skills and to invest in learning and to do all that stuff was my reasons, were my faith and my family and like trying to build something for the future. I'm asking you, what are your reasons? And this is a tactic, because reasons come first, results come second. Some people might see what we do at Think Media and be like, oh, it's just hype. Oh, it's just a get rich quick scheme. No, hear me. That is not what I'm saying. It is a get rich slow, video by video, upload by upload, answering specific questions, building up passive income that turns into something significant, not just over months, but over years. So a big key is having a strong enough reason and having motivations. And I want to encourage you, we're going to get into so many tactics over the next couple of days, but I want you to write these down, because these become the fuel to keep you going when you feel like not getting on camera, or when you feel like, well, what if I get some negative feedback? When your reasons are stronger than the critics, when your vision is bigger than the haters, when the picture you have of your future is stronger than just the pain you're feeling in the moment, that becomes fuel that can overcome any adversity. And so ultimately, on the other side of continuing to persevere through a lot of ups and downs, it's been wild that we have a couple miracle kids, literally, and don't have time to go into that. We didn't think we'd be able to have a family or kids, and we had kids at 15 years into marriage. We've been married 17 years and a lot of ups and downs, but now I'm seeing the fulfillment of having strong enough reasons to keep me going. While I was learning, while I was growing, while I was juggling working at a church and doing side projects and trying to find time to post videos. And today, the fact that Think Media is like a team of creators and all the different students that we've helped, I just want to encourage you, waiting for you on the other side of getting clear on your why, clear on your reasons, clear on your vision, and then putting in the work and committing to the process. So that's why having a clear why that you want to succeed on YouTube is huge. And brainstorm about it all. It could be so you can get your dream house or have a better vacations in the future. Maybe it's significance or legacy. You want to start a movement. Maybe you want to really help people earn money and prosper in any economy. Maybe it is to build stronger families. Maybe it is to prove your parents or the haters wrong. Maybe it's to live up to your God-given potential. Maybe it's because you love the process. Like, I want to encourage you, this is going to take grit and tenacity and resilience and commitment, but we are purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And it's so clear, though, or important, that we get clear on our purpose, right? And so what we learned today was that YouTube is healthy and growing. We learned about the ASSQ method for getting your first 1,000 subscribers and beyond. But I also want you to write down your goals and reasons that you want to succeed on YouTube. And commitment is the foundation of all great accomplishments. And so I want to challenge you to commit to the ASSQ method. I want to challenge you to join us inside of the challenge itself. And because we're going to have 4 more of these sessions. If you haven't been a part of VIP, we're going even deeper and we're going to be answering questions in a much smaller group. But if you haven't joined yet, learnvideo2023.com. We're doing this challenge, and I've learned commitment is the foundation of all greatest accomplishments. Committing to the process, committing to learn. And we have coming up the VRA method session. We're going to talk about more ways to monetize your content, even if you're just starting or you have a small channel. We're going to talk about tips for creating videos and building your confidence on camera. And we have a lot more coming up. But if you're watching this on Think Media and you got value, smash the like button. Let me know what your aha moment or action item or takeaway was. And then click or tap the screen to check out a series I did all about the 4-part recipe that we use to get more views. You're going to love that. And I will see you in a future video. Appreciate you so much.